Are you a small church pastor that's struggling to attract new visitors to your church? Do you also have musicians that you've hired to play worship every single Sunday? If so, in this video, what I want to talk about is why firing them may actually be the key to seeing the church growth that you desire. But before we begin, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell notification button. That way you don't miss on any future videos on church growth tips for pastors. Hey, I'm Greene. I'm the founder of Impactful Pastors, and on this channel, what I do is I use the knowledge I've gained from building a multiple six-figure business to helping pastors turn struggling churches into healthy, growing churches. And so over the past couple of years, I've talked to hundreds, if not thousands of pastors, and one thing that has been blowing my mind recently is how much money is being spent on musicians, especially for brand new churches. And so most pastors have told me they're spending in between $150 to maybe $300 per Sunday per musician. And so it's likely that you have two musicians. You're not just going to hire, just someone who plays the piano, just a guitar player. A lot of the times I have two, if not three musicians that they're paying. And so that can rack up money quickly, right? If you're paying them every single Sunday. And so if you're paying them in between $100 to $300 per month, that ends up being around $600 to $1,200 per month. And sometimes the pastors aren't thinking about that. They're just thinking about it on a weekly basis, like, oh, it's just $150. But like, add that up every Sunday, right? You're getting to be around $600 to, like I said, $1,200, well over $1,000, sometimes close to $2,000 per month on just one musician. And the crazy thing that blows my mind is that they're playing music for only like 10 to 20, 30 members, right? So they're paying musicians to come in and play. You're paying hundreds and thousands of dollars, and yet they're only playing for a very, very small group of people. I'm talking 10, 20, 30, 40, mostly under 50 people, and you're spending all this money, and then they come to me, and what they're saying is, hey, D, I'm having trouble attracting new visitors to my church. We have music, but they're only playing for 10, 20 people. I'm not sure what to do. And so my question for you right now is, how much money are you spending on musicians per month? Let me know in the comments. I'm very, very interested. How much money are you spending on musicians per month or per week? Let me know in the comments. So this is why I'm recording this video, to let you know to fire those musicians. It's not that what they're doing is invaluable or that we don't need them or that you shouldn't have worship or praise or any of that type of stuff. It's just that when you're small and when you're starting off, your money and those finances and those resources should be spent on ways to reach and impact more lives, right? Because what's the point of having all of this music and spending hundreds and thousands of dollars on music if you're not actually able to reach new people, and the only people that are able to hear this music are the same 10, 20, 30 people every single Sunday? It doesn't really make sense. But one thing that I've realized is a lot of pastors just haven't thought about this, right? Like when I tell them the strategy and I'm just like, hey, instead of spending the money, the hundreds of thousands of dollars on musicians, why don't you fire them and use them for something else? They're just like, hey, that's just something that I've never thought about. I think the issue is that we fall into this trap of thinking that we need music in order to have a church and to successfully run a church. Like, we have to have music. Everybody has music before, and so I have to pay people. If they come in and they don't see these musicians, they're going to leave. And as you can probably tell if you're watching this video, it's not necessarily the music that brings them in. I tell pastors that's just the icing on the cake. Yeah, Elevation and Transformation, TD Jakes, all these big pastors have music, but that's just the icing on the cake. That's not the sole reason that people are coming, unless your music is just really, 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 really good. And I doubt that paying someone $100, $300 per month is doing that. You're gonna have to pay even more than that. And you have to ask yourself, is that really worth it for what you're trying to do? If you're paying $600 to $1,200 even more per month, but then you're sitting there and you're frustrated, you're burnt out because you're not reaching new people, you're not growing, you're not fulfilling your calling, you're not being fruitful, then you have to ask yourself at some point, is this money worth what I'm getting out of it? And that's what I'm saying. I don't think initially that it is. I think you could really be spending it in different places rather than just spending it on musicians and then crossing your fingers hoping that that's going to bring people in, but then when it doesn't, you're burnt out, you're frustrated, but then you just keep on spending that money again and again and again. One thing that I would suggest is investing in a mentor, investing in a coach, investing in someone that can provide you with knowledge, that can provide you with a framework, that can provide you with the system, strategy, blueprints, all of those things that aren't going to go away, once the money stops, right? You need a strategy that's proven, that's going to help you bring in new people, because that's the point and the purpose of your church, or at least I hope that it is, to be fruitful, to impact people. And like I said, at some point, once you have the people and the people are coming, then you can use those people to raise the finances, raise the funds to bring in music, and you build on top of that. But you don't want to build backwards and put all this stuff into place and then cross your fingers and hope that it's going to bring in the people. Instead, like I said, invest in the knowledge, resources, tools to bring in the people, and then use the people to increase the quality and the overall appearance of what you're doing. Because here's the thing, if you invest in knowledge, if you invest in processes, blueprints, strategies, those things aren't going to go away. If you stop working with that person, you still have that knowledge, which you can continue to use for the lifetime of your church. But as you know, when you pay these musicians, that's done. It only lasts you like 30 minutes. So you're not getting anything out of that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You're only getting something for that 30 minutes. And so that $150, that $300 is really only going for 30 minutes. Whereas you can spend probably about the same amount of money that you would pay a musician for 2 or 3 months. You could pay that to a mentor or to a coach, and you can have a strategy, a template, a guide, a process that you can use over and over and over and over and over again, and you can pass that on, and you can use that to in actually even other areas of your life to actually attract new people, and instead have a process that is proven rather than having to cross your fingers, right? Because again, when you're just paying musicians and paying for cameras and paying for all these other things, you're basically just saying, I think I need these things, and so I'm going to invest a lot of money in them, and then I'm going to cross my fingers that people come in, and they don't come in. You're burnt out, you're frustrated. So instead, what I'm saying is just invest in a strategy to bring other people in, and then as you have more people, those people will help you raise the funds. They'll be the volunteers, they'll be the hands and the feet for all these things that you're trying to get done. Now, I know the issue with finding a mentor or a coach is there's a lot of scammy people out there. There's a lot of just like weird people in general out there that maybe you've used some of their services before, maybe people have taken your money, or you're just really like, hey, if I'm gonna invest money, I wanna make sure that I'm getting the results. And so what I'm actually going to do is I've opened up my calendar for some 15 to 20 minute slots. And what you can do is actually book a call with me and my team. This is not a sales call. We just really want to help you out. We want to see where you're at now, what you're doing, where your goals and your vision are, and see if there's anything that we can do to kind of help you out, right? We just want to get to know you, and maybe we can come up with some ideas together to see what you could possibly implement to help your church get to where you're going. We work with hundreds of churches. We work with churches that were starting in their living room, and now they're at 100 members. We've worked with people that were at 50, 100 members and helped them scale. So I'm not saying that I know every single thing that there is about church growth, but I am saying what we have been doing with pastors and churches has been working. And so if you're watching this video and you need a little bit of help, it's basically risk-free. It's a free call. There's no sales involved. Book a call with me and my team, and we can take a look at what you're doing and see if there's anything that we can do to help. I'll also leave a link below to a free group that I have. It's Church Growth for Small Church Pastors. Feel free to join there. I post a lot of free tips. My goal is really to just help. I know what you pastors are doing is very, very important to the body and to the kingdom. And so I just want to help out in any ways that I can. And that's why I'm putting out these free videos. I have the calls, I have a group, ton of resources. And so if this video was valuable, do me a favor, leave a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if there's any other videos you want me to touch on. Let me know if this video is valuable, if it helped you out. And then again, take advantage of the resources, and look forward to talking to you guys. See you on the next one.